good work of the Ambolale. That summary, I hope you will share it with me.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm very humbled to be requested to share something, just some information on what I have done. I wish you all a happy Power Monday and a blessed week.
Yeah, go on.
So I was requested to share about real estate, and the topic I was given was before you venture, learn this. And as been introduced very humbly, I appreciate. My name's Christine Miriko. And this morning, I just kindly want to share and very humbly who is Emmeli and why I was asked to speak about real estate. Some stats in Kenya about real estate, the phases or the stages in real estate, some nuggets about buying land in Kenya, risks and rewards of investing in real estate, factors that may affect uh, your investment in the real estate, some strategies, how we can get some sources of finance, and what we do in return, which is our CSR and my parting shot. So basically, I just wanted to introduce myself with what we do. Emmeli is a medium enterprise venture. It's made up of my children's names. It's a made up name from Immaculate, which is Emma, and Elifia, Ellie. We have several chains that we embark on. We do apartments, flats, rentals, single units. As you heard from my CV, I also put my fingers in agribiz, a few shops, just as you can see on the picture on the screen. In doing all of this, we are underpinned by great values. We have systems and processes, that is, policies and procedures which help us in the company. And we try and utilize the latest technology in management, in applying the security, and in real-time office operations. This has been very useful because I manage the staff from a far-off location where I'm presenting from today. It is still kind of in the night. It's 4 a.m., still dark. So having staff and keeping them happy, you have to have values to work with them. I have a disclaimer. It's very important. I put this in. Always, when you're doing any business or investments, just read the small print on every purchase or transaction, such as buying land, buildings, or property. I know personally I'm guilty as charged to get new gadgets, new mobile phones to just try and fix them without reading the small print, only to come and discover later that it was all in the small print. Also, I have to say, I am not an expert in land matters, nor do I hold any qualifications on land or in the building industry. I know that doesn't make me very popular now. However, my presentation is from my practical, experiential, lived experience based on doing, learning from mistakes, lessons, failing very fast, but failing forwards. In doing this, I constituted a power team of industry experts that I work alongside. So the first point that I had started was the rising population in Kenya, which is 80% and over. And I was comparing it to Europe, whereby 1/5 are over 65 years of age. And in the very rich countries like Monaco, we have 36% who are over 65 years. In countries like Japan, we have 29% who are over 65. There is a ever-rising value of land, which is among the three factors of production. There is a rising cost of construction. They say it's always best if you had invested yesterday or last year. As you can see, the cost of construction is going very high. If a country has got political stability, then it's a good venture. And because of the availability of the high technologies, the augmented realities, the Internet of Things, the AIs, the 3D printing, the buildings now are being done in 4D simulations. They are using drones to construct and robots. This makes construction very efficient, safe, functional, and aesthetically pleasing. Then we have Kenya has less than 2% mortgage uptake. That is why the government is trying to increase this by buying into this big dream of affordable housing. Like, by the end of this month, they will be deducting their housing levy. So there's also a market gap of about 70% Kenyans are not housed. That's huge, really, showing that there's that deficiency. Hence, the reason why that the government is clamoring for that piece of cake. And then there is a gap in the commercial real estate, that the high rises that Mr. Pipi was mentioning, backing into manufacturing industries. For example, because of the devolution, we have the KIPES, that's the aggregated industrial parks now in most counties. They are requiring malls, hotels, and factories. And also, real estate has got a very good return on investment on your portfolio over time. So when you're investing in the real estate, you have, first of all, to go very systematically phases. First of all, you've got this dream in your head, an idea. In your mindset, you've really got to be prepared and well-being, physically fit as well, because you'll be going on site, out of site. It needs to be within the right timing in your life, not when you're having other projects, like you're having weddings, funerals, or major events in your life. In your mind, you need to be having a map of what it is you want to invest in. You need a support system in place, people you can fall back to. And you also need to do your research, educate yourself in the field of real estate, if that is what you want to embark on, despite what real estate it is, even building one residential unit. Join like-minded networks, have a feasibility survey that is in your local area. Just pre-check what is happening. Are people building similar kind of assets or estates? What sells? If you're building rentals, what are the rentals? Because this will determine how you get your pricing strategy. Have plans in place. Put your logistics in order. Consider things like the taxes that you may be paying. Remember your capex. This is a huge investment. Remember, now we have in Kenya AVI SASA registrations. So include all of that. Always do your due diligence exhaustively. This is very integral. Always look at what market am I building for? Who is your target market? Are you building commercial or residential? Are you building hostels, office blocks? So on the concept phase, we will need to have plans. We need certifications even for as little things as, well, not little, but boreholes. When you're drilling them, you would need that. You'll also need certifications like NEMA, which is the National Environment Management Authority, which conducts impact assessments. We also need the National Construction Authority. That is the one which approves the structural integrity. The zoning, building heights, they determine. They also determine things like where you're building, the airports, the restricted areas. For example, we have in some areas in Nairobi, for example, Kajiado, they have restricted grazing areas. So if you're sold a plot there, it may be difficult. You also have areas like in Clayworks where there's industries and factories areas set up for that. And then also you need to consolidate your power team. Are we together, OPP, on that? Good. Then we have the implementation phase, whereby you have your engineers, which includes architects, your civils, your plumbers, you've got your contractors, the clerk of works, the QSs, quantity surveyors, and the land surveyors. And then you also have somebody who will look on your behalf if you're not there some of the time, to make sure that your QSs and the people on site are working well. That's your eyes. And then you have to think about your funding sources. And then finally, you come to the utilization phase, whereby now this is the occupation stage. This is when you're milking your cow and managing your estate. And then we go to the next. There is a big slide there. I wouldn't read all of it, but this is just a process of how to buy land in Kenya. Some of the most important things from when you get your the concept and think of the place you want to buy, the title deed. You've got to make sure the plot you're buying or the land you're buying has got a title deed, performing the search very, very vigorously. Make sure you go into the local authorities, check for any unpaid rates, go to the Ministry of Lands, buy your maps, and then with your maps, go with that to the surveyor, check your beacons, and then make sure you are making those payments and getting the receipts. And then make sure you book a meeting with the Land Control Board, because this is very important. And then finally get a consent from the Land Control Board. And at this stage, you no longer need probably a lot of help. At this stage, you no longer need the seller. So you can go your way and do another final search with the ministry to confirm that it is really registered there. So we'll go to the next slide, which is about the next slide is just some of the properties that we've invested in. So those are some of the properties. We can move to the next one. And this is our projects that we are embarking on currently. And then now it's important to know some of the factors which affect real estate investment. First of all, very importantly, the government policy. Remember, the government encourages real estate in some areas, but some have got restrictions. So please watch out for that. Currency stability. Like recently, we had a lot of erratic currency changes. So that has affected people building. We have finances. I mean, if you have a limitation of finance, it will be a factor that affects you. Mortgages, if you have debts, any repayments, or the lack of it. And then another factor is acquisition. If you are acquiring the land or buying it, that plays in a big role. I'll move on to the challenges that are in real estate. Just like any other industry, of course, there are challenges. We are not glamorizing this very much, but it's also good to know this is something which may require some high capital injection. So depending on the estate that you're embarking on, in case there's a pandemic, of course, you'll have low occupancy for the tenants. So that can affect. You could have fire, burglary, things like that, or even natural calamities. But remember, fire and burglary, these are insurable. We pay insurances on buildings that we have, but it also, of course, does attract premiums if you do the claims on that. Liquidity is another factor, which is kind of a challenge, really. You cannot quickly convert the cash of your building if you have. So it's quite illiquid. Again, if you have debt taken against your primary source of building, that can be a challenge. And in case we need to know that it's kind of a delayed, investing in real estate is delayed gratification. You're investing for the short-term years, but you got a future long-term gain. So I've got some of the strategies in which you can invest for in real estate. Of course, office blocks, factories, industries. You can have residentials, family dwellings, or gated communities, or even Airbnbs, which are there now. You can have that land to use for agricultural use. You can have your land and use it for geospatial surveys. Nowadays, people are having land and mining special things like gold, silver. I have a friend here who has land, and they've given it out to be used for mining or even a quarry, things like that. Also, you can use your land for renewable energy, windmills, solar panels, and again, I know people who are using their land for solar panels, harvesting, and they're selling to the national grid. You can also have your real estates under this, which they call BRRR, whereby you buy, you rehabilitate, you rent, you refinance, and then you repeat. You can also have acquisitions or auctions. So some of the advantages of investing in real estate include, as we all know, brick and mortar offers a sense of certainty. It's a way of leveraging or collateral to acquire a future facility or a venture. You can use your real estate for collateral. You can also have real estate for the purposes of having it as passive income. When you have real estate, there is protection from inflation because it's not affected by the currency changes. With real estate, it's one of the ways in which you can have a diversified portfolio. You're not just putting all your eggs in one basket. So you can do that on the side. With real estate, you have capital appreciation. It goes on to incrementally help you. You can also have in real estate inflation hedging. And just to clarify what inflation hedging may mean, is an investment that is considered to protect the decreased purchasing power of a currency that results probably from the loss of its value due to the rising prices, either macroeconomically or due to the inflation. Some of the sources of finance that we get in, you can get in for real estate, you may be saving, very important as we are taught in our lives, even when your children are young, always make a savings from when you're young. You can inherit family heirlooms. Like some of the cultures we have in Kenya, you can inherit a piece of land. You can have a windfall. You can win a lottery. I hear there is shabiki.com. Please put that money in the land. You can have gifts or winnings. You can also have angel investors come in and invest in your real estate. You can use the conventional bank loans such as SACCOs, MFIs, you can use them. And also, as a source of finance, you can join with somebody who has got money or who has invested in real estate as a joint venture or partnerships. You could also use the method which some of the companies in the country are using, speculative, buying a parcel and then speculating, it goes, the value increases, and then you can amalgamate them and build. Finally, our normal Harambes, chamas, collaborations with like-minded people. These are some of the ways in which you can get finances as well. They say OPM, other people's money. We've got some people with a lot of money, they don't know what to do with it. And you could be having the skill and the time, so you're able to invest with them. They have their own private money. You could also have bridging finance. You could also have the debt service coverage ratio. Moving on, my parting shot for real estate is always be involved in the entire process. Yes, you will learn, you may make some failings, but fail fast. Don't stay there, but fail forward. Always treat real estate as a business, not as a side hustle, so that you're all fully engaged in it. Always involve your children or your trustees all the way from your ideation phase. I remember when I started investing, my children were the ones doing most of the admin work. They are very good in their computers and all of that. So most of the admin work they were doing. We've got pool tables, we've got darts and televisions in the common areas, just to make them stand out. Build your portfolio and inventory, and then you watch it grow, because once you do the first one, the rest just come from what you've done. This helps you to retire early, to be able to adventure, and you're able to take calculated risks. Also remember to include your CSR. Give back to a worthy cause. Always, to whom much is given, much will be expected.
So I think part of what we've missed there, which I found very important, is adding, always add value to your properties. And she's saying that in her properties, she's put TV in the common areas and pool tables and whatever, so that they are able to enjoy. So hata kama una TV kwako, you're able to watch TV. Yeah, and Christine, I think we've got to just leave it at that. And thank you for that, because time imeenda. And we really appreciate that effort. Thank you very much. Dr. Melvin, uh, I don't know if you'd be able, if you can see any pressing question, but you know, Christine is in our WhatsApp group, and she's been one of those oldest members. So all the questions can be answered there.
What I'd like to suggest is that anybody with questions can put it in the group. And what I'd really like is for Christine to put her email address and her WhatsApp number in the chat so that we can talk to her. Her presentation was very comprehensive, and what we'd like to ask her, my question for her is that anybody who wants to get into the business of real estate, can we consult her? Or does she have a consultancy arm of Emmeli Properties to advise us?
For that question for Melvin, I do have a power team which we work alongside, which I would be able to refer to engineers and people that are experts in that industry. That is okay.
Okay. And on another light note, is Evans Hausman in your power team? Because he is the main source of cement for all these 50-story buildings that are coming up around me.
You can share his contact, please.
Evans, I think I don't know. I think he was in here. Evans does supply for building materials, and sometimes also making very interesting doors. Evans, you can speak for yourself. You are of your age. Somebody was told like that in the Bible. You can speak for yourself. But I was just checking. I know he will speak. I was just checking. There are maybe just some questions here which I think you already handled in your presentation. For specific questions, can be directed there. Now, there were 3 prizes. I asked people their age groups. We wanted to see the majority, whatever, so that we allocate. I've seen somebody saying 19 to 72, so that prize will go. It will not be allocated. Yes, because then do we have anybody who is under 19 or who is a teenager here? Okay, no, because you didn't put. If you didn't put, then you are not. I know Monica is not 19. Ameweka 19 to 72. Okay, and I know Odhiambola is 60 something. Do we have 70 something in the room? We may just buy him a lunch. Somebody who is 70. Melvin, are you 70?
No, I'm not.
I know you are not. Okay. Do you have 69? Towards 70. Okay, hiyo imeenda. So in that case, mimi ndio nitachukua hiyo price. But we are going to put some other challenge. Maybe we are going to finance the next meet and greet for somebody. We are going to put it in the group, and so we will see how it goes. Otherwise, so thank you all, guys. Yes, Evans, the houseman, is here. We are going to meet again Monday after next Monday, and we will be learning something about entrepreneurship. If you are not signed up for meet and greet next week on Saturday at JJ McCarthy, we are closing that this week so that we can confirm the numbers with the host. It will begin at noon. For people who are not in our WhatsApp group, I've put a link there. It's liveyourdream.co.ke/Power Monday. So we will meet there from noon. We will have some fun. You can always come with your merchandise, and people will be able to, you will showcase your business. You never know. Some people can just be giving you big orders. And I love this forum because there are people who've really made big business out of this. And to me and to us as Live Your Dream, as long as it helps you to live your dream, we are happy. Otherwise, thank you all. Christine, thank you very much. I know we still have a date for another one, and I know it will be better. At least under Cable will be better. And we will pay the debt. So thank you all, guys, and let's meet and greet. Let's put the names to the faces, but you've got to put your name in the list and to pay for it. It's only 1,500 anyway. We will have food, we'll have drinks, and we'll have fun time together. Otherwise, thank you all and have a blessed week. Sorry for taking extra time, but we know that time, official time had elapsed anyway.